Okay guys, so this is a brief review assignment. You can see I actually wrote review on there. Look at that, I actually prepared. So if you feel like you're comfortable with everything we've covered the last couple of days, couple of weeks, well, not couple of weeks, but since we started all this rational expression stuff, you could probably stop now and just go ahead and do the odds, or you can just skip through the video and look at the certain problems that you feel like you might need help with. So I'll just work through the evens, you can do the odds, 6 problems for the assignment. All right, number 2. Okay, so we're supposed to state excluded values. Oh wow, I thought I had assigned to reduce, but look, the directions, I'm going to check the answer key real quick. Yep, just excluded values. All right, I set it up wrong. Oh well, win for you. Okay, to find excluded values, factor the denominator if it can be factored. So this is b and b. What will multiply to 14 add up to 5? Probably 7 and 2 if you have a positive 7 and a negative 2. And then you set each one of these equal to 0 and solve them. So this one's going to be negative 7. Add 2 over here. This one's going to be positive 2. So those are the 2 excluded values right there. If this said, all right, I'm going to do it anyway. If I had done this right and it said simplify, we would have canceled these out. With nothing on top, you put a 1 there, sort of a placeholder, b minus 2 on the bottom. So okay, for this assignment, you do not have to do this. You will have to do it on the quiz eventually, but for now, get that answer. And I think I already checked that before I started. And you can see right there. Okay, number 4. Number 4 won't factor. It is just a monomial. So you simply set it equal to 0 and solve it. Of course, 0 divided by 9, 0 divided by anything is 0. So the only excluded value, is 0. If you look at number 4, there it is. I am going to take a second to simplify it because that's really what I meant to do. This top will factor. We've got, you can divide a 6 out of both of those and an n out. So if you bring out a 6n, that's going to leave you with n plus 4 over 9n. These n's cancel out, and the 6 and the 9 reduce by 3 down to, if it reduces by 3, it's going to leave a 2 and a 3 left over. So that's 2n plus 4 over 3. Okay, so again, you didn't have to do that. I won't leave it circled, but that's good for review. All right, simplify. So this is multiplying. With multiplying, you want to factor and cancel, and then do top times top, bottom times bottom. So what can we factor? Can't factor that, cannot factor that. The first denominator is a trinomial, so you can do the xx. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. So there we got our 4 or 3. This numerator, you can factor out a 4x. Both of those terms have a 4x in them. If you factor that out, you're going to have 1x here. If you factor a 4x out of a 4x, you don't leave it blank, you don't put it in 0, that's a 1, because we are dividing. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And now you look for stuff that'll cancel. 4x and 4x cancels. X plus 1, x plus 1. What we're left with is just 9 on top and x plus 3 on the bottom. So that should be the answer to number 6. There it is. Okay, number 8 is a divide problem. So the first thing you want to do is flip the second fraction over and then change it to multiply. Now you do what we did just a minute ago, factor and cancel. So let's look at factoring this. You can divide a 9 out of there, and you're going to have n plus 3. You can also divide a 9 out. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'd never even flipped it over. Duh. If I flip this over, that goes on top. That goes on bottom. Stupid. Okay. Now we factor this. You can divide a 9 out of there, and you'll have n minus, 6 times 9 is 54? This n minus 2 and that n minus 6, that will not factor, but we can do some canceling. the 9 with the 9, the n minus 6 with the n minus 6. That leaves us with n plus 3 on top, n minus 2 on bottom. Let me check number 8, and there it is. So yeah, I said change this to multiply and flip this over, and I forgot to flip it over. Geez. Okay. Number 10, this is addition. Remember, with adding and subtracting, you need a common denominator. If you have a common denominator, like we do here, that's good. This is one of the easy problems. You just keep it. Don't FOIL it together. Don't work anything out. Just keep it. And then we want to add these two numerators together. So k plus 2 plus k plus 5. And so for adding, you simply find like terms. So k plus k is 2k. And then plus 2 plus 5 is plus 7. Get rid of that dot. And you could multiply the bottom together, you know, FOIL it or whatever. But I don't think the answer key has it like that, so I'm not going to bother. We'll just do that and check number 10. Oh, look at that. They did FOIL it together. All right, well, give me a second. I'll do that. I don't think they did it on the other assignment. Okay, so if we FOIL this together, let me change colors here. K times 5k is 5k squared. K times minus 3, negative 3k. Negative 1 times 5k is negative 5k. Negative 1 times negative 3 is plus 3. Change color back to do my final answer. So 2k plus 5 over 5k squared. I can add those together. Negative 8k plus 3. There it is. So that's number 10. Number 11, we do not have common denominators. We need to have common denominators. So the sort of process I go through here is first rewrite the problem, and then figure out what a common denominator would have to be. Well, a common denominator has to have every factor in it. So I have to have n plus 2, I have to have 2, and I have to have n plus 1. So I'll write that as 2, n plus 1, n plus 2. 2, n plus 1, n plus 2. So now you got to backtrack a little bit and then figure out how do you make that happen. How do I turn this into that? Well, it already has the n plus 2 right there. So I'm going to have to multiply it by 2n plus 1. And I'm going to do the top by 2n plus 1. This one, to turn into that, it's already got the 2n plus 1. I need to get the n plus 2 in there somehow. So I need to multiply this by n plus 2. So that means the top times n plus 2. Okay, so what does that give me? Well, this is going to be a little bit of a chore to work out. That's going to be, what, 2n plus 2 times 5. This is going to be 3n squared plus 6n. I can distribute this here. Why don't I go ahead and join this all together now? So that's going to be 10n plus 10. And then this negative sign, remember I talked about how that distributes, so that's minus 3n squared minus 6n. And then, what do I have? I've got this. I've got negative 6n and a positive 10n, that's plus 4n, and then plus 10. I wonder if they FOILed that together. Let me check what am I on, number 12? Oh, no, it's not FOILed together. It's the same answer. They wrote it in different order, but it really doesn't matter. My answer is equivalent to that answer. They just put this last instead of first like I did, so no big deal. That's it. Okay, so the assignment parallels the review notes. Do the odds, check yourself. Seniors, this is your last official assignment ever. Juniors will get to take a quiz tomorrow, or well, yeah, tomorrow on this. But seniors, you are done. So congrats, and yeah, talk to you some other time. All right, bye-bye.